Hello my hair warriors, it's me, Aaron O'Brien, and what are we going to be talking about today? We are going to be talking about that smell we get from our hair system, and we want to make sure that we can get rid of it or reduce it as much as possible. So I'd like to start off by saying this beautiful video is sponsored by my friends at Lordhair.com. Now, let's get into it. If you go to the salon to have your hair system removed and you're worried about the odor that is underneath your hair system, do not worry at all. Us professionals, us system changers that help you through this process in the hair salon, we have smelt everything, seen everything, and we never judge. This is part of the process. We expect that when you come into the salon that your scalp will have a little bit of an odor, so never worry about it. That's what we're here for. We're here to help. First up is system ventilation. Now, system ventilation is extremely important because we want to make sure our scalp is breathing properly. So if there's a lot of oils there, you want to make sure that they're not trapped. So if you're a heavy sweater and you create a lot of oil, I would also look at the system you're about to buy. So French lace is fantastic and also has a skin perimeter. This is called a Neo, and this is really good for heavy sweaters. But if you're really heavy sweater around the hairline and all over, a fully lace-based system is best for you. So once it's more aerated, the less smell there is. And we don't like smells, do we? When wearing your system, and the length of wearing your system is super important as well. Don't be wearing your system from 4 to 6 weeks, because what can happen is bacteria can grow underneath. It can get really smelly, really disgusting, especially if you're a heavy sweater. So try your best to change it out as much as possible. I know sometimes it can be a lot of work, but once you get the hang of changing that system, practice, you'll get that on and off in no time. Even if you can change just the hairline. So if you just basically take up the front of the system, you give it a little clean underneath, retape it, and I say that because around the hairline produces the most oil. It gets sweatier underneath there. So try cleaning it up as much as possible, but if we don't have the luxury of cleaning it all the time, here's a few other tips. If you notice that your hair system is looking a bit greasy, I always recommend a dry shampoo. Dry shampoo can be your best friend. Make sure you get a light one. This one is quite good from Schwarzkopf. I forget the name, so I'm gonna look at it now. This is called Refresh Dust. Now they do spray out white, so make sure that you keep it at a distance and just rub it around the head. This also has a slight perfume smell to it, so that will help kind of get rid of a little bit of that smell. And make it feel a bit more refreshed. We want to make sure that we are cleansing our hair properly. So first of all, when you get into the shower, you want to make sure that the temperature is on the cooler side. Using cooler water stops the hair sweating as much underneath, it's not as hot, and when you get out of that shower, it doesn't produce as much oil. Then we want to use a slightly scented shampoo and conditioner, but only make sure you put the conditioner on the very ends. If you put it on the root of the system, sometimes that can create buildup, a little bit of heaviness, more oil, and a smell. So try not put conditioner on the root. Next up, once we get out of the shower, we want to use a detangler that also has a little bit of a perfume smell to it. This is mine, AOB Miracle Spray. It's absolutely fantastic. But if your system smells at all, you give it a little spritz, you comb it through, it works absolute wonders. And we want wonders for our beautiful system, and we want to smell and look our very best. One of my favorite things that will help reduce smell is scalp prep. Scalp prep is a spray or a dabber that you put on your scalp before you apply your system. This creates a barrier, stopping the oil getting to your system, stopping buildup, and keeping that oil away for a little bit longer, so your system and your scalp is a lot fresher. The type of glue that you use as well, or tape, is really important when it comes to the smell and the odor that is created. So we want to make sure that we have as much air underneath the scalp, on the scalp as possible, so air can pass through and ventilate, creating less smell. So this is one of my favorites. This is the Extendabond, And look, it's plain and simple. It has holes in it, which gives air a chance to travel through and breathe better when your system is on. This is fantastic. Ever since I start using this, which I use all the time, I've noticed a big difference in the odor. So I think definitely get out and get this one if you're using it on your hair system. Okay, so what we do in our lifestyle is really important. So working out, going to a sauna, going swimming, walking a lot, whatever is going to exert you is going to make you sweat more. Now, I'm not going to say don't work out. We need to keep those dad bods away. But we also want to make sure that we're not overworking our system, because too much sweat and too much oil is going to create that smell. So if you do work out, you can use a sweatband. So those cotton sweatbands that you put around your head, just around the hairline and around the edge, that will help absorb oils. Again, reducing the smell, which I think is super important when you're doing any of those things. So just try that out and see if it works. Next up, if we don't want to do a full scalp removal, we want to make sure that we're keeping oil away from the hairline of our system as much as possible. So I always recommend using maybe a 99% alcohol. You apply it with a cotton pad, or you can actually use a Q-tip. Make sure that you don't go right into the hairline because it will remove the system, but alcohol is a really good way of drying out the skin really fast and reducing those oils, so you get longer out of your system and longer out of the day if you are sweating. So that's pretty much everything that I would recommend for you to not have a smelly, dirty system. So yeah, try them all out and see if they work. And if you need any more suggestions, I can always think up of more, test systems, whatever you need me to do. So don't forget to comment below, click the link, subscribe, all of those good things. And I hope to see you all very soon. Bye!